So, let's have a conversation. It's an interesting one. Flesh and Blood, right? I am an avid collector. Uncut sheet. There's another one behind there you can't see. And I have some other very spicy things that are in the works that are also inbound. One of which will end up going probably right there or right there. I don't know. We'll see. But I will change the recording every once in a while so you can see different versions. So, Rudy's sale. Sold out in 15 minutes. That was 4,000 boxes. A little bit of numbers on my end. The Hunted. I had pre-ordered over 1,500 boxes. I got 540. This is a good thing. This is what we want to see. I just talked about this a week and a half ago. As these markets explode in demand, aka Pokemon, we see it start radiating out into the other games. This is a great example of this. All it takes sometimes is a very small push to just hyper accelerate things. I offered someone, in good faith, a deal containing a bunch of random assorted crap, including this cold foil flick knives, and all of this. At the time, I think I just in light of doing a good deal, right? Like I can sell all this stuff, so I don't actually care about min-maxing this. Like this for me, I was trying to do a deal that was leading up for a whole bunch of other deals. It ended up not working out, which is fine. But I still have the cards, which is the best part. Those cards are worth about $300 or $400 more now. It's been 4 weeks. We have entered insanity. We are seeing markets go everywhere. And I will say, interestingly enough, now that we're past 2 minutes in the video and I can give you guys the real juicy deets. So, fun fact, I track Pokemon booster boxes prices weekly, right? I actually put it into a spreadsheet with a little bar graph and I track all the data and stuff. Scarlet and Violet is now trending down, which is interesting. Now, I don't track Prismatic, 151, all the other side stuff. I just track the main booster box sets, right? That's like tracking gold and silver right there. Like, that's your bread and butter. Like, you don't need to watch 700 things. You really just need to watch a couple. In this case, booster boxes. I don't care about all the side SKUs, the whatever things, the Bolton whatever, like whatever. I don't care. What I care about is the gold and silver. So, Scarlet and Violet has done this really aggressive, well, it was like flat, and then December rolled, and it went like rocket ship. And it kept going up and up and up every single week. Box prices averages were going up $3 to $4 a week. Now that's across 8 sets, which means 8 sets cumulatively are going up an average of $4 a box. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot. This week is the first time in, I think, 6 or 7 weeks now that we've actually gone down. Now, why is this important? What this means to me, this is a big signal of we've reached the first wave's top. Now, what do I mean by the first wave? Like all bull markets, and like all markets in general, things tend to operate in this like curvature graph, right? Like they always trend up over time just due to inflation and a lot of other things, but there's points of calmness. We're entering a point of calmness in an inflated market. Now, what does that mean? That means don't buy, you Timmy assholes. This is not the moment to buy. I don't give a shit. This is not the moment. Everything is expensive. Don't. We're just expensively calm. Don't buy. This is not the moment. This is not your moment to do this. So we have this moment now where stuff is kind of flat, trending down a little bit, and this is a great bait moment. Like, this is the moment where the market's like, ha 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 ha, you think it's calmed down now? Psych! And this is where it might go down 5 or 10%. We might see a couple of weeks where these boxes kind of trend down a little bit. Pokemon Company drops some small reprints, some more side SKUs hit, various and sundry other things come into play. We will see some stuff trend down a little bit. Now, before it trends all the way down, no, it's not going to go back down to $120 a box. You're crazy. That ship has sailed. It is long gone. Any Scarlet Violet era box that was under or near $100 is now no longer going to be under or near $100. I will say one caveat exception for that is if they reprint it like bananas levels, like they dropped 30 million booster boxes or something psycho, then sure, of course it's going to drop. But the Pokemon Company doesn't do that. Most of the Scarlet and Violet era stuff is just over MSRP or right around MSRP. There's only a couple of boxes that are actually bumping up those averages. Now, why is this important? What it means is the selling pressure in Pokemon is at least enough to keep the crazy flat, which is important, which means as the sell pressure goes up, that money is going to be deployed elsewhere. In this case, we're seeing it deployed in Magic, Flesh and Blood, Weiss, different games, probably Cardfight Vanguard, I don't know. Like, it's going all over the place right now. But it's leaking into other games, which is what we talked about, I think, last week or the week before. And we enter now into other games replying, other games starting to increase, and we see the hunted. And in the most eloquent, probably unintentional timing, James has decided to nuke that wave 1 for the hunted. Now, what does that mean? That means the hunted has been blasted for the first wave. I was getting anywhere between 800 and 1,000 boxes on release, and I was trying to bump my numbers up for this release again to 1,500 plus. That didn't happen. I got cut a lot. Like, even off of my previous numbers, I got cut almost like 35 or 40%. Off of what I requested, I got cut like 70%. I've never not been given what I requested. So, we now have this spicy area here where we see a large number of boxes get consumed immediately because this is now spread around. People are aware that there is less hunted than the previous sets. There's less hunted than Rosetta. There's less hunted than Outsiders. There's less hunted than Uprising. And I noticed this with my orders. Like I mentioned before, I had tons of people either reduce or cancel their order for the hunted. Once the CNC reprint got announced, I went from about 25 cases pre-sold up to about 70. And I cut it because, again, I like to keep a couple hundred boxes here for the shelves. I open for singles. I do singles on them. I like doing the mass openings. I get my set. You know, I do this. I do the whole 9, right? The interesting conundrum that I have now, right? My cost and everyone else's is $60 a box, right? I think everyone has known this now. You might get some credit card fees or some other random associated shenanigans in here. It is what it is, right? So whether you negotiate other things with distro to go pick it up and save some shipping money, like whatever, you know, there's things that we do to pinch the pennies. But we now have this interesting area, right? The hunted is moving at $400 a case. I was pre-selling for less. I started selling for cases at $350 a piece, and they are moving. I've sold 2 at that, I believe now, 3, something like that. I sold a whole wave at 300. Like this is an interesting scenario. We have been shorted, and everyone is understanding this now. And all this excess money is coming over from Pokemon and that bull market because, again, we've kind of entered that little flat period. And what that means is sell pressure is now high enough to offset the buy pressure, or at least it's enough that it's evened out. And once it's evened out, all that excess money from all the tendies that people have pulled in up here, myself included, I'm not doing any selling up here, I'm literally just holding. All of that excess money is going to go elsewhere. Where is it going to go? It is going to go to all of the places. And we're seeing that happen with the hunted. I don't know for sure, but I can make an educated guess and say that the flesh and blood market is going to start moving upwards. Just like Pokemon is doing, just like Magic is doing, Flesh and Blood is just going to catch along on that wave, and like every other TCG, it is going to start going back up. And that is a good thing. It is so good. I love it. It makes me so happy. I can't even express my joy and happiness on this. I have cases and cases and cases of product that I quite literally sat on for years with the sole intent of waiting for this market. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16 cases of Weiss, something like that out there. And all of them are just holds. I have hundreds of boxes of Pokemon. All of it is holds. These are things that I purchased with the intent to sit on them for at least 5 to 10 years. I understand that these markets are consistent. They don't need to be huge. You just need to wait. And as time goes on, it will fix itself for you if you're patient. Attack on Titan. I was buying boxes for $35. I'm sure those are no longer $35. Is it wrong to pick up Chicks in a Booba Dungeon? I was picking that up for $45 a box. I've been selling them for $80. After shipping and fees, I'm making a nice $20 a box, like $22, something like that, which is just shy of 50%. That's great returns. And I take all of that, dump it back into inventory, and I rinse repeat it. And I just absorb all those costs and profits into the business, and I tie it up in more inventory, and all of a sudden, we have more inventory. And I have more stagnant inventory, and I just keep building inventory and building inventory and building inventory. And this is where we enter these markets. These bull markets are fantastic. In my opinion, I think there's going to be a really great window to sell in probably the next 5 to 6 months. If you really wanted to look to min max and just wait for your moment, there's probably going to be a moment where Surging Sparks will hit 300 a box, or Paldea Evolved will double or something. There's going to be some catalyst that's going to be so bananas that the Pokemon Company is going to drop a very fast reprint, and that will be the moment that you can kind of okay, this is a good time to sell some stuff off. Or just do anything, which is what I'm going to do, and just hold it forever until you die. Or until you're 40, 5, 50, 55, I don't know, 60, 70, I don't know, whatever. Bye, guys.